All right, so let's take a look at another domain and range, this time of a given graph, and see how this kind of question goes. So for this question on the review packet, question number 9, it says the graph of function f of x is equal to all this, square root of x plus 4, and it's shown below. That's great. So they gave us the function, but they also showed it to us in a graph. And they're saying the domain of this function is. When I'm looking for the domain on a graph, I'm going to look to the left, and I'm going to look to the right and see what my boundaries are. So I'll put my pencil down this way, and I'll go as far to the left as I can go while staying on the function itself. So that is the furthest left this function goes, is right here. The coordinates of this point are -4, 0, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, -4, 0. As I go to the right now, I get all the way up to this point, and there's an arrow continuing off to the right here. That means I go all the way up to infinity. So my lower bound of my domain is going to be defined by this point, and my upper bound is going to be defined by this arrow that goes off to infinity. For domain, I'm looking at my x's, so my lower bound will be -4, with the upper bound being infinity. It's a closed circle, so I'll put a square bracket, and infinity always has a parentheses. And as I look down here, it's asking, well, wait a minute, it's not interval notation, it has inequality, set builder notation. So, don't let that freak you out too much. You should be able to convert from this into an inequality based on our Unit 3 skills. This interval just means, well, I'm allowed to be any number between -4 and positive infinity. And so if I'm allowed to be any number between -4 and positive infinity, I could be -3 or -1 or 0 or 5 or 18. So that means my x's, and it's x because we're dealing with the domain again, my x's can be bigger than -4. It's any number that's between -4 and infinity, so they're going to be bigger than. And since it is a square bracket, it should not just be greater than, it should be greater than or equal to -4. So that tells us that it should be answer choice 4. Well, you can see where the wrong answer for 3 comes from. Where do we think 1 or 2, where's that wrong answer coming from? The answer to that is if you had been looking for the range instead, well, that means you look to go as far down as you possibly could on the graph. You hit this same point, which happened to be 0 for my y, because range is looking for the y's. And then as I went up in my graph, I still hit that same arrow, so it went up to infinity. If I was looking for the range, it would have been answer choice 2, because it's any number between 0 and infinity. But since they were looking for the domain, I went left to right. It's going to be answer choice 4 here.